So, I'm going to explain a little bit about my current situation and I explain why I decided to do this channel, but also I'm going to explain a little bit more about my current situation and what brought me to basically getting to the point of wanting to be kind of like a shaman. It has a lot to do with this sweater, which is why I wear this sweater a lot. It definitely shows in my videos quite a bit. This sweater I actually found on the ground coming back from visiting my little boy. I talk about him all the time. I love my older son. He's amazing. It's just that he's not as much in my life as my baby boy. And I went to go visit my baby boy, which was wonderful. That time we made necklaces together. I have him on my Facebook and stuff, and I took pictures of us two just kind of hanging out together. And then on my way back home, because I had to take a bus from 103rd out to Jack's Beach, and yeah, I'm making pizza right now because them dollar Tostito things, and well, get some more light. There we go. That's better. And I was walking to the bus, which was quite a while from where I was. It was like about an hour walk, and this couple kind of like stopped me. Well, technically it was the man. And I was like in my little gypsy out kiddo stuff, or out there stuff, my gypsy stuff, and because I like kind of like dressing that way, and I kind of feel myself more kind of like a gypsy because I travel around basically from place to place quite a bit. I literally only have like $40 in an account that I really can't even get into. I forgot the passcode. I couldn't even get it over the phone, and it's a bank that is only in Palaca, and I'm far away from there, so I can't even get into it. So I have like $40 to my name and a $25 Walmart card I got for Christmas. So that's all I have to my name. And while I was walking back from, of course, seeing my son, and the guy stopped me and he's like, "Oh, you're so cool, with everything." And I had my dreads, and which I shaved off. I had my dread, which actually you see the ending process of my dreads on my earlier videos when I was dancing. I love to dance to be able to release my emotions, the aggravation I have within me, and also draw, which I want to make a video of, like a bunch of my drawings that I've done and affirmations I created for myself. I had all over my walls. Well, here it's like cement walls, so I couldn't put them back up, which actually I've ended up bringing me down a little bit because I wasn't constantly looking at them. And he said, "Well, we're going through a hard time right now. We have to find a new car. My wife's stressing out. You seem really cool. Can you, just talk to her, see what you can do?" And I was sitting there, contemplating earlier about, being a shaman before all this happened. And then the universe presented me a time to where, like, hey, let's see how you do. And I just kind of like was like dumbfounded. I was just like, really? Like, and it wasn't really asking them, really. It was more of like asking myself, and am I ready? And of course I'm ready if the universe like presented me the opportunity to be able to do it. So, but I was second guessing myself, can I do this? And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know these people. I wish, that I could have like recorded this for y'all. I mean, it was an amazing experience, and I just kind of looked over at her, allowing the universe to just give me what to say, and I see a tattoo on her arm, and it was a never-ending story, and I was like, you know what? You have never ending story tattooed, and that's beautiful. That just shows that you believe like in things, just the magic of the world, and how beautiful everything is, and how to have faith and confidence, and things just, it just comes, and everything happens for a reason, and you don't know what reason that is until later, after you get done going through the trial. And sorry, I'm making pizza. um okay. And that everything's gonna work out the way it should. And just basically expressing this to her, and tell her and letting her know that you can do this. You have never ending story tattooed on you. That's all about the beauty of even creating, and the trust in the self, and just going for what you love, and being there, and create, and just, it's a never ending story. I mean, it's the most beautiful story I have ever seen on a fantasy level. And I was like, you got this, you can do it. And I basically gave her a hug and said, you know what, everything's gonna end up great and okay, just like a never ending story. Everything ended up just perfect and beautiful. And no matter how many trials the kid went through, and no matter how many trials he saw Atreyu go through, and everything like that, and I expressed that, and I just hugged her and said everything's gonna be okay. And then I walked away, and literally a few feet after that, um I told them to have a good day and everything. And after a few feet after that, I found this sweater. And I love like the ancient ones, and the all the gods, and learning about all like the different things that people honor, and stuff like that. And not I was really heavy into Ganesh, because Ganesh is basically about removing the obstacles from what your heart seeks, and to ask for the removing of these obstacles that keep you from accomplishing what you want to accomplish. And not only is this like a mammoth, it had an elephant on it, and I was like excited, and I thought it was like maybe some kind of like Alabama thing, and I don't know. And I looked at it, and it said Mammoth, like hot springs. So it was like nature filled. And not only was it like the elephant, like I said, but it was the mammoth, the ancient elephant, the first elephant that came to here. So it was not only Ganesh, but it was almost, to me, like the ancient form of Ganesh. Like, and it was like dead in my path of walking home, or walking to the buses to get home. And I picked it up, and I was just like, wow, this was like the biggest confirmation ever. Something I got for free gave me like a heartfelt touch to my heart that I wanted to get to in my life. And that was my first experience of like being a shaman for someone. And it was my first experience of the confirmations that the ancient ones, no matter what religion you are or anything, because the power in the mind, it's the most creating thing. So the strength and belief, that energy is out there. And it just kind of, getting this sweater just kind of proved that to me. And the fact that I got it for free, it was like just finding it on the ground, and it's nice, and it was like it was like practically new. And it was like, wow, I was just given a gift from the universe itself, and the ancient ones, and all the gods that wrapped around with it, and the even angels and everything. And they granted me this sweater as a reminder, as like the more confidence you have in yourself, and the more you see the beauty in yourself, the more you'll be able to accomplish what your heart desires. And it was just the most beautiful thing ever. And I had to just basically make a video of that story that really brought me to, having this hold of faith in myself and my capability to be able to go out and do this, and to be there, and to answer the questions that a lot of people have, and to be kind of almost like a counselor for people. But I just don't have the paperwork for it. But I have experience, and I have the heart, the love for myself and other people to be there and to answer these questions. And there's a lot of people in this world, and there's probably going to be a lot of people I'm not going to be able to get to. And I from down in my heart, I apologize, but I'm going to do what I can and do the best that I can to be able to answer any questions that are asked of me, and to be able to be there for anyone that really reaches out in this hardship. I have reached out to so many different organizations about my hardship and about my conflictions, and I never really got too much anything back. And I reached to a bunch of organizations that are tied under to so many rules and so many regulations that couldn't help. And I felt like that I was let down, because I felt like this is what their job was to do, but yet it's not there. I have talked to counselors where they try to do their job, but it's like they didn't have the experience to do it. And to even have that heartfelt communication with their client, and because they have to section themselves to not be so emotional and wrapped up into it, because they can't for their own life too. But how can you help someone that you don't understand where they're coming from? And there's a lot of things I haven't gone through that I may not understand where they're coming from, but I can be there on a spiritual level. I can help you on a spiritual level to help yourself, but I can't fix your problems. It's something that you would have to dig deep inside yourself to fix your problems. And I want to be able to lead people to be able to how to understand on to digging deep inside yourself on a spiritual level, on a soul level, to be able to reach for your soul's goals, and not just goals that society feels you have to do in a specific way, and causing so much depression within the world. So many people are going into YouTubing because of this whole 9-to-5 job, and not being happy and getting depressed, and not being able to go for what their soul is calling for. And it causes a downward spiral within your soul, because you're not listening to the intuition within yourself and what you want, what you would love to do, what you would love to bring to the world, bring to the table. And I just want to help those be able to bring that to the table. This was like the star opportunity for me to be able to accomplish the shamanic journey. And I'm excited about it. And I hope I pray that I'm able to touch and inspire enough people that this change just flips on itself. Not that I even started it, not that I even created it. No, just that because of my actions, the universe is like, okay, we just got the great opportunity to be able to flip it using this person like it's like they're a vessel. And one of the big reasons why I shaved off my dreads, because it was irritating the heck out of my scalp, and my scalp was just becoming horrible. And because of the process of having them, and then having them when I was homeless, and it was just irritating the heck out of my scalp. And also it was like shaving off the old and making room for the new beginning, the beginning of a new process, the beginning of a new soul search, the beginning of a new awareness, the beginning of a new me, the beginning of a new self. And it was when I did it, it was perfectly, because it was around Yule, and which is, the process of letting go of the old and bringing in the new. And I'm not too much religious about really anything. I went through so many different religions. I went hardcore extreme Christian and walked that walk, and woke and just stared in the mirror a few times, and was just like, walking this religion, I'm just not happy with who I am and who I am becoming, because of the structure, the way you become, because of what you're taught, how you have to be for that religion. And I walked away. I felt like I missed my magical path. I missed all the things that it granted me, and I learned very valuable lessons in Christianity. I will always keep in my heart, like, forgiveness. If it wasn't for forgiveness, the lesson I learned in that, I wouldn't be the person I am now, because I was able to learn not only to forgive other people, which is what it taught, but then I was able to teach myself and learn that I have to forgive myself too, to be at peace with myself. So it was meant for my journey, and I don't regret it, even though a lot of things I just kind of just didn't really agree with, because it was just kind of I was becoming extremely judgmental, and I don't like that. I did not like that at all about myself. But being that person, being that way, is what brought that out of me. And so I just kind of walked away and went on my own path, and really started getting into the videos of spirit science. And that brought a whole nother journey to me, watching spirit science. If it wasn't for spirit science, I think I would still be stuck a little bit, and I wouldn't have be able to have jumped the way I jumped. And it was so perfect that it brought so many different outlooks and perspectives, like a spectrum, how there's so many different things around. You can, like, how you can look at so many different, you can look at it in a negative way, or you can look at it in a positive way, or learning experience of a way. It's a different perspective, and on a spectrum. And that's how and why I have gotten to the point I am now, and to the point to where I'm now making these videos as a spiritualist, and not as a religious structure. And I feel if we all went on a spiritual level of things, and not as a structure of things, like how a religion is kind of worked, and we just kind of like be accepting of the way people feel and believe, as long as it's not on a negative level, you go over that. you just kind of rise above that, and you don't say anything negative to those people about what they feel or believe or anything like that. You just kind of be like, okay, that's cool, and I understand your perspective, and this is kind of like my perspective in certain things, and then you just let it be. Let it be for what it is, because planting a seed is the biggest thing you could do for someone at a point, because you let them be able to grow that seed to whatever they want to grow it into, whatever flower they become. And I feel I've gotten to the point to where I'm finally blooming out my flower and being able to spread my seeds out, and hope and just praying that those seeds become just as beautiful of a flower that I have become.